all women in the house who are literally linking arms to know that this message that we each have is not so unique. It's actually something that stood this test of time, and we all get to steward it in our unique ways. And so we're here to amplify that, and we're here to do it as joyful entrepreneurs. They are all in the collection, the co-authored experience of volume 2 of the Joyful Entrepreneur series. This particular one, and I know many of them have their books in their background if you're looking, is about the solutions, the signs, and the wonders. It's insider secrets on supernatural business scaling tactics. And if you have yet to get your hands on this book, it is available right now for pre-order in the full copy, and we want your hands on it. If you're listening to this later, it's probably already in your shelf. We're hoping anyway, because this is not just a one-off book. This is something that's going to continue for a long time to serve you. And it's not also just a testimonial. It is a resource manual for you to scale your business in a really dynamic way, one that is steadfast and true and God honoring in the way in which you're going to do it. So I'm going to give all of these incredible messengers, authors, best-selling authors, by the way, #1 Barnes & Noble. They've been featured in Forbes and USA Today and a couple others I'm going to keep in my pocket until later. But they are incredible people of faith who have allowed God to be the forefront of their businesses, and they've done it in a really dynamic way. So let's learn about them on this show today. It might be a little bit longer episode than some of you guys are used to, but I assure you that there's going to be revelations. There's going to be an opportunity for you to build your business maybe in a new way today, to scale and evolve in a new way, and to also make a connection, because all of these people are accessible on social media. They're accessible via email and their websites. And obviously the book, you'll see their QR codes. And so we all always are about forefront of collaboration of the body. And so we hope that you connect with them individually and you just don't hear this show and move on, but instead actually take the next step, because they are incredible people that would serve you, and likewise you would serve them really well. So Julianne, I'm going to call you out first because of the way you fall on the screen. So you just happily get to go. And so Julianne, she wrote an incredible chapter, and the title of her chapter, because we're not going in alphabetical order, it's called The Multiplier. And I know you guys want to raise your hand because we all want that multiplication. We all want that good double portion, right? Julianne, can you talk to us about how your double portion was actually a quadruple portion?
It sure was. It sure was. And one of the questions that you ask in the book is about like the signs, right? We always say like, oh, Lord, just give me a sign that my business is going right. Give me a sign that I'm moving in the right direction. And for my sign, it actually came when I found out I was having quadruplets. And for those of you who don't know what that is, because I get quadruplets a lot, and it's 4 babies at one time. And I had previously had a miscarriage of twins. And so going through that whole journey, and my business was going really well during that time, but I felt like I lost so much. And so just praying through, God, don't let this be the end of my story. And I was really needing that sign that he was in it. And he took that loss of 2 and multiply it as only he can. And that's where the quads was the revelation that I had been praying for, the sign that I had been praying for. And they were not just this, okay, great, like now my family life is going to go right? Because that's not what he does. He's going to be in every single aspect of your life. He desires to be in every single aspect of your life, and really getting to understand and know him in that intimate way of, oh, I can trust you in all of the things. I can ask for it in all of the things. He really showed me that they were not just a sign of multiplication, like he is the multiplier. And I got to experience that on a whole new level. And it gave me a confidence that was so deeply rooted in who he was as a multiplier that it allowed me to take that energy and that essence into everything that I did in my business.
Wow, that's really good. I love the light line going right back to him, right? Because he can do that for us. But when we put that glory back into his corner, that continued multiplication. And I know that that's been a huge part of your story. Talk to us, because I know that the people listening as messengers, they're authors that or desiring authors, or they're speakers, and you've really honed in on your speaking knack and that talent and being able to catalyze others, multiplying others' messages too, how that has been a part of your business strategy, utilizing speaking and also helping speakers.
I didn't set out to be that way. I was like, okay, this is going to be my Paul time, right? Like, I'm going to be the one in the spotlight. And what God showed me was how much more in my life fulfilling it was to be the Ananias, to be the one to see in other people what he sees in other people, to be that source of encouragement for people. And it has been the greatest ride, the most thrilling ride, to be able to come alongside others and their author support and their speaking support, just as that person of encouragement, again, to really tap into who God says that they are. And I remember several years ago praying, like, Lord, I want to have access to that intercessory prayer that I've heard so much about. Like, it seems so far off for me. I'm not a saint by any means. Like, I thought it was so far out of reach, and it's not. And he has just really allowed me to grow in that position, to be an intercessor for others. And it has, again, been a catalyst in my business because of that. It's been that true heart posture to glorify him in the greatest way that I know how. And he has brought the rest of it through my business.
Well, it leans into like the conversation of communication, which is what this book is about, right? It's about taking something that God has gifted us and communicating it out to the masses.